In this video, I'm going to cover Pope Francis issues dire warning for humanity, sees greater omens of destruction in the world, as well as a brief touch on Mystery Babylon, and then as well as Israel about to have an Abrahamic Accords esports event bringing people together. All of this tied together, and I'll get into that right now. First, Pope Francis issues dire warning for humanity, says that he sees greater omens of destruction coming for the world. He said all of this at a recent service that they had. This is December 13th. I'll play this clip of what he has to say.
Y este año celebramos Guadalupe en un momento difícil para la humanidad. Es un periodo amargo, repleto de fragores de guerra, de crecientes injusticias, carestías, pobreza, sufrimiento. Hay hambre. Y aunque este horizonte aparezca sombrío y desconcertante, que aparezca con presagios todavía de mayor destrucción y desolación, todavía la fe, el amor y la condescendencia divinas nos enseñan y nos dicen que también este es un tiempo propicio de salvación.
So here we see the Pope says that as bad as things are with wars, famines, poverty, and suffering, he sees a future with greater omens of greater destruction and desolation. While of course this will eventually be the future, because in Matthew 24 we know through the words of Jesus that in the last days perilous times will come, wars, rumors of wars, and everything of the liking. So we know that that is the future. But why this is important is because Pope Francis, being a major leading figure, as well as other major leading figures all around the world, always coming out with the same narrative, never putting forth a good positive answer, except the fact that we need a one world leader, which multiple people are openly saying that now. King Charles, Emmanuel Macron, they both said that we need a one single leader who will be in control of all the governments of the world.
Even for both the US and China, we need a single global order.
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector, with trillions at its disposal, far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders.
As well as they continue to focus on such issues as climate, war, and all these things, and how all these bad things going on will just lead to how we need a one world government ran by one person, obviously the Antichrist and his system. Briefly, since we're on the topic of the Catholic Church, I have to point out there's very clear verses that point to it being Mystery Babylon in the last days. I think the only options are Rome here, the Vatican, the United States, or potentially Jerusalem and Israel. Outside of those three, nothing else makes sense, but I mean, the Vatican and Rome fit this to a T in so many areas, and I'll just touch on a few of them. Some of Babylon's characteristics are it's abundant in treasures, Jeremiah 51:13. Babylon is a land of carved images, Jeremiah 50:38. She has been proud against the Lord, Jeremiah 50:29. And all these, if you don't know, in the Catholic Church, I'll link a video where I go more in depth, but these are easily tied to the Catholic Church. Babylon is located also around many waters, Jeremiah 51:13. Revelation 17 also tells us that Mystery Babylon is clothed in purple and scarlet colors and is the symbol of a city built on 7 hills that reigns over the kings of the earth. I mean, I don't know how those two things could be tied to the United States or Israel, but they tie to the Vatican perfectly. And of course, we know that the Catholic Church will have a leading role in the Abrahamic Family House Center of the One World Chrislam type center, just the one world religion that will be built in Abu Dhabi, coming up to be completed very soon. Much of these type of Abrahamic religions coming together as one is tied to the Abrahamic Accords. And we have here on December 15th, on Business Innovation, Israel to host the first ever Abraham Accords esports peace games. It says that the Abraham Accords are a game changer for our region, with our new diplomatic relations fostering business, education, and scientific exchanges. Adams wrote that in a statement announcing the event. But for this to endure, to weave the warm peace that we will seek in the region, we must have people-to-people exchanges, sporting, cultural, especially tourism with our neighbors. Esports introduces a whole new cohort to Israel. So this is just one way through the Abraham Accords that they're now using this esports event, so online video game playing, to just bring all these nations together. Which the reason this is important is because in Daniel we know that there will be a peace plan, a peace treaty in the Middle East in the end times, and this is just a clear sign of the times. Now, I don't think the Antichrist has signed this or set this order up, but it's just many of the things going on, in my opinion, are precursors to the things that are coming. They're God showing that these things are absolutely possible. I mean, if the Bible was just made up fairy tales by guys in caves 2,000 years ago, none of the stories would make sense. Yet what we're seeing with the Euphrates, with the peace plan, with Israel, with the Middle East, all these things are unfolding and related exactly how they're going to happen. And they aren't the exact fulfillment, but it's just clearly, it's like, in my opinion, a loving sign from God showing like these things clearly are possible. They're not only possible, here's a foreshadowing of them. So you better accept Jesus Christ, because the day is coming when the final fulfillment of this will happen, and it's Earth's last days. And I'm going to read a verse here to finish off the video, but I think I'm going to start doing videos like this where I cover a few different topics in one video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, because I can only cover, some of these topics are Bible prophecy related clearly, like this Pope Francis one. But then I don't need to explain the mark of the beast system, the Antichrist, or Mystery Babylon every single time. And I feel like it's just going to get repetitive if I continue doing that. So I just think that I'm going to try to find related topics that fit in together and then just cover that with brief touchings on the fact, because otherwise it's just constant repetitive of just like Matthew 24, Revelation 13. You could just say those things all day in relation to what's going on. So let me know what you think in the comments below about that video style. Of course, I'll still do long one subject full videos when there's something to deep dive into. And I will leave you with Revelation 22, 12 through 13. Behold, I am coming soon, bringing my recompense with me to pay each one for what he has done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Jesus Christ is coming extremely soon. In comparison to the history of the world, he is not far off. And that is the most important thing that you can have in your life right now, is to have your life, your soul, your inner being connected with Jesus Christ and right with him through intimacy with him, keeping him first in all that you do, and obeying his word and seeking him through prayer, worship, and the Bible. I pray you are all well. Thanks for watching, and God bless.